What's up, guys? Natown Nick here, and welcome back to an episode of Mother 3. In the last episode, we had our first encounter with the Masked Man and defeated him and pulled the 6th needle, and also got Ionia's memento, and Kumatara learned PK Starstorm from Ionia. Anyway, we started chapter 8, and now we're here in New Pork City, where Porky is. And there are a lot of references here, actually, to Earthbound. And I'm trying to point them out, but we haven't encountered any just yet. But yeah, it's a pretty big amusement park right here. But the tower is really the biggest area of the game. And you'll see that'll be like an episode. Actually, no, it'll probably be like a good 2 or 3 episodes, probably more, because it's kind of where the final boss takes place. Alright, I'm trying to find, okay, here's a reference, Lab, which is, actually that's a reference to Mother 1, I'm pretty sure, or no, I think it's also Mother 2, where it's, the lab in Winters, where Dr. Antonuts is at. Anyway, off screen I also got some new items. Right here we have our broken slot machine, just like in Earthbound. We got a Porky Park right here. And yeah, most of these stuff are really not that important, but they become relevant for Super Smash Bros. Brawl because there's a stage based off of it. So yeah. Anyway, we got a giant Porky statue right here. And down here we can actually buy some items from this guy. We can buy pencil rockets, bombs, super bombs, and New Year's Eve bombs. So these reduces all enemies HP to 1. Don't rely on it though. It could be a dud. So like maybe I think it's like a good 50-50 chance or something like that. So I don't really know the exact like probability that it will be a dud, but I think it's like a pretty good chance that it would be a dud. Anyway, I don't really have that much money because I spent it all on defensive and offensive items. So yeah, I might come back to it when I have enough money, but right now we don't have any money, or we do have money, but it's not that much. Alright, so the first place we're gonna go to is the theater, because that's where we're supposed to go to. And, yeah, let's go explore there. And there actually is some, references to Earthbound. A lot of references, actually. The theater is basically based off of Earthbound. Anyway, here you can buy a fake bat based off of, what's his name, Ness. But it's 20,000 DP, I guess, to be like a tourist fee. And then we have a fake frying pan for Kumatara, which is supposed to be based off of Paula. We have a red hat, which is based off of Ness again. I keep saying Lucas, I don't know why. Then we have an angel ribbon, which I'm guessing is based off of what's his name, or what's her name, Paula. I don't know how I forget those names, but yeah. And sadly we can't afford any of them because we're kind of low on DP. So yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead, enter through the theater. If we want to run, we can't. Woman says, "Hey you!" The only ones allowed to run inside the theater are the stars on the screen. Okay, well, yeah, and if you look on the screen, got some screenshots from Earthbound. There's them fighting Master Belch. There they're at Modellini Tower. We're in Forside. There's the meteorite where all 4 chosen ones are there. I forget that guy's name. And then here's Ness in the hot spring at Saturn Valley. There's Jeff with Nessie, I think his name is. There's Jeff, Paula, and Ness at the Threed. So yeah. I forgot again that you have to can't run Anyway, stink bugs stink up the place wherever they go. You know, like these seats, some of them smell bad. Alright, well, let's smell some of these seats. That's what I'm pretty sure we're supposed to do. I kind of forget. Like, this part of this game, like, you really don't have, I don't really know what you're supposed to do. A stink bug, yeah, I saw one earlier. Where could it have gone? Some people say that if you take a big whiff of a stink bug smell, your memory will improve. If that's true, I'd sniff one without a second thought. Alright, so let's go check these seats here. Try and find a stink bug. I'm pretty sure it's one of these, but I kind of forget. Alright, well, I guess I have to talk to more people then. Rumor has it, whenever you guys do something, earthquakes and tremors and stuff happen. What in the world do you guys do? Well, we pull needles, so yeah. Your guy's leader is locked up in an apartment building underground. Huh? You don't know nothing about no leader? But your leader wants to see you. Here I am putting myself at risk to tell you this, and you honestly don't know the guy? Yeah, we really don't have a leader. I see, so you really don't know about him. I don't know, maybe you're supposed to meet him without knowing who he is or something. He definitely wants to meet you guys though. Alright, well, let's keep checking for stink bugs. Alright, this area doesn't stink at all. This area stinks. Alright, so now we can check it for some reason. This area really stinks. Alright, so that's where the stink bug is. And there it goes, pops up on the screen. Boney starts barking at it. And he starts chasing it around the theater. And he can't get it, but he does. So he goes through that hole, and now we have to find a way to go through that area. So let's go examine it. Alright, the hole is in the speaker seems to lead into the sewers. Go through it? Sure. It would be a bit difficult for people to fit through this. Well, guess we have to find a different way to get to the sewers. And that's just what we're gonna do. So I guess I was actually wrong. If you remember, I think back in like chapter 5 or something, I said that Ness and Boney always stick together and they never leave, but Kumatara and Duster leave Lucas and Boney. I guess I was wrong. I forgot that they leave. That Boney leaves us during chapter 8. But we'll get him back. Alright, so now we have to actually go to the game center, which is right here. And like, I don't know how you're supposed to know this without like actually know what you're doing. Like, I guess you know to go to the theater, but like, how do you know to go to the sewers? I'm totally owning at this game right now, so don't talk to me, gosh. And don't you dare try to ram into me. Yeah, so that's Thomas, that firefighter that we met in chapter 1. Anyway, let's talk to this guy. I've been hearing a dog whimpering for a while. I think it's something right below us. I can't go check it out, though. The reason being that I'm afraid of dogs. Seriously, their noses are wet and they wag their tails and they lick people's faces. God, I totally can't handle them. So, could you go look for the dog inside instead? Alright. Really? You must like dogs then. So you'll go look for me? Okay, I'll open this heavy cover. I'm putting myself at major risk though. Okay, I'll open the sewer entrance for you. Here goes nothing. But yeah, like seriously, how are you supposed to know this without like actually like playing the game or looking up a walkthrough? Cause like When I first played this game, like, I think I either looked up a walkthrough or I just like talked to everyone. Like, it was really annoying. There's no real sense of direction of where to go. Alright, that's Boney's barking. He must be nearby. And he's not that close, but we'll get there. Alright, so let's go attack these metal attack roaches. These are basically just stronger versions of the other roaches that you see in Earthbound, and we saw them near Saturn Valley. I think they're just called attack roaches, but I could be wrong. I kind of forget. But anyway, pretty easy. Destroy them in a couple turns. They give a good amount of experience though. You saw that right there. We got 4,000 experience. Alright, so now we have 3 of them. This can be a pain. I guess I'll just go with PK Love Beta. I just want to get rid of these guys. Let's go with PK Fire Gamma, and Duster will just bash. Alright, nice. Duster got that critical hit. Alright, see, I really hate these guys. Shoot poisonous mold at you, and then like it hits every team member and does a decent amount of damage. Just really annoying. And we're pretty low on HP. I guess I'll bash, and I'm just gonna use a pencil rocket because I really, actually, well, we do have a bomb, but I think the pencil rocket's actually, I don't know which one's more powerful, but actually I'm just gonna go attack. Hopefully, takes out one guy. Alright, really? Duster's not faster than them? Alright, come on. Lucas, don't die on me. Really? How's this guy still alive? And that was a waste of Ionia's memento. Knowing my luck, yeah. I bet he was at like 1 HP or something stupid like that. Like seriously, I was like risking it because I thought he was gonna die, but apparently not. Alright, so let's continue. Alright, so that's the area that Boney just came through. Let's go see. Of course there's a hot spring right here. I mean, like, seriously. I kind of like, I was trying to find the item guy off screen, but I couldn't find one. I couldn't find him. And it was really annoying because I wanted to, like, bring Ionia's memento to the item guy so that I didn't have to use it if in case Lucas died. Alright, I think this is a trap right here. Yep. Alright, but it's only one guy, so not really that bad. But the thing is that after we get Boney and we start heading back, it's actually a boss. But it's not that bad because we have a hot spring right there, but we're still gonna have to fight against some enemies in order to get through and get to the area we have to get to. Alright, so let's just go skip those guys. And of course we get a back attack from these guys. Like, I seriously hate these guys. Really, they shoot poisonous mold. It hits everyone, does a good amount of damage, and it can lead them to having poison. Like, seriously, this is the worst enemy in Chapter 8, I do have to say. Probably the worst enemy in the entire game. I just hate their attacks. I think they're weak to ice, but like, doesn't really matter that much. But now I have to go heal everyone with healing alpha, and then I have to life up everyone. Like, it's just a big waste of PP to fight those guys. Anyway, over here we got Mole Cricket. Let's see what he has. I think we are pretty good. Yeah, he doesn't even have that good stuff. I mean, he has a couple life noodles, but other than that, he doesn't really have anything good. Anyway, right here, we got a bunch of apartment doors. It's really a weird place. And then we have this area, which is, I really don't get what this area is. Like, it says it's Leader's house, or Letter, whatever his name is. We'll see his name later. But yeah, pulling this rope would probably be extremely dangerous. And he's locked up, mainly because he knows too much about this world. And he knows a lot, and you're gonna have to go through me just reading through what he has to say, because even though it's very important, like, you guys probably won't find it that interesting if you're not really interested in Mother 3, but he tells us a lot of information, and it'll probably take the entire video, sadly, but it's really a lot of good information, especially for the Mother timeline, which I will probably discuss later on after I beat the game as like a bonus episode. But anyway, we found Boney. I chased after a strange smelling bug and somehow wound up here. And Boney joined our party. But yeah, like, and the weird thing is, like, where is this place? Like, why are there apartment doors? Why is it like abandoned? Like, what was this place used to be? Like, was it like New York City until Porky took over it or something? Like, I really wonder about that. But never mind that. Look what's in this next room. Alright, so let's go ahead. And you guys may know this familiar face. It's not really that familiar, but we did see him in chapter 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure. But very faint. Like, he didn't even talk to us. He was up in like the tower ringing a bell. So anyway, let's go talk to him. And we're gonna see a lot of dialogue. Yes, it's me, Letter, the bell ringer. So if you remember the guy back in the theater, he said that the leader was looking for you, but I guess he didn't know how to pronounce his name, and it's Letter, or I guess it is Letter, but like, I don't really know how to pronounce his name, but it's L-E-D-E-R. It must be a real shock to hear me speaking for once. It wasn't that I couldn't talk all this time. I simply chose not to. As I rang that crossroad bell deep inside my heart, I decided I would speak to no one. So yeah, he rang the bell in chapters 1 and 2. And the first time when I actually played Mother 3, I never noticed him at all. Like, I never saw him near the bell because I never went there. And apparently he was there. And the next time I played Mother 3, which was the second time, I was like, holy shit, he's actually appears in Tazmily. But anyway, the secrets I've been guarding are now starting to leak out. Lucas, the time has come to tell you everything. What I'm about to tell you, you might not want to know. Even so, you absolutely must hear it. It will be a long story, but please listen to it all. Yes. Given who you are and how you've lived, what I have to say will tear you at your hearts. And there is just so much to tell. So I've decided to have this distinct bug trembling behind me memorize everything I say. Ready, Mr. Stinkbug? Alright, I don't know why he makes a Stinkbug memorize this, because, like, this must be, like, a really smart Stinkbug and, like, a very long-living Stinkbug in order to bring on this story. I don't even know, like, what the lifespan of a Stinkbug is, but I'm pretty sure it's not that big, and he'll probably get crushed by the time he tells the story. Anyway, long ago, there existed a world different from what the people on these islands think of. It's basically Earth, and it's where Ness. It's like Eagle Land back in Mother 1 and 2, where it was Earth, Ness, Paula, Ninten, Anna, Lloyd, Jeff, Pooh, and Teddy all lived there basically. This world was incredibly big. More people lived on this world than there are grains of sand on these nowhere islands. I know it may be hard to imagine, but such a world once existed. Understand? Yep. At some point, the world wound up destroyed. Actually, it was humans who destroyed it. In the back of their minds, everyone had an inkling that it would happen at some point. And then it really did happen. And so, the world is no more. Yeah, so I really don't know how the world really ended. But, like, I'm guessing there was too many people on Earth, or, like, Porky destroyed it. Or, it could be the alternate universe with, like, the Earthbound Halloween hack, which I'm thinking about doing a Let's Play of, where, Dr. Antonis couldn't bring the kids back from, the future, destroying Gygus. And, or maybe Gygus, like, destroys everything, but, anyway. Everything so far has been the end of the world, do you understand? Kind of. I don't really know how the world ended, but humans destroyed it somehow. It could be Xenoblade Chronicles. Because actually, I feel like Mother 3 has some connection to Xenoblade Chronicles. And you'll see that later. The white ship, the white whale. Like, these are similarities with, like, Xenoblade Chronicles X. There was this entirely different world. That was Earth. And then now they go to Mirror. Like, if you don't know Xenoblade Chronicles X, the two stories, the backstories are actually very similar. Like, the white ship is what they use to get to the Nowhere Islands, and then for Xenoblade Chronicles X, the white whale, which is basically a giant ship, like, I don't know, it just feels like there's some connection to them. But anyway, and in Xenoblade Chronicles, like, the world was destroyed by Zanza, if you didn't know. Kind of spoiler, but you know, it's just something relevant to this. Zanza destroys the world, and then he becomes a god. He becomes a god and makes his own world. But anyway, enough about Xenoblade Chronicles. Just before the end of the world, a white ship came to these islands. On it were all the people of Tazmily Village. Yes, aboard the white ship were those few who had managed to escape the world. So like Flint, Wes, Alec, Hinawa, probably Kumatara was on it, and a bunch of other people. And I kind of think Ness was on it too, which I'll give my theory about it later on. Aboard the white ship were those few, okay, yeah. The people on the ship still went by their names from the previous world. This white ship plan had been set in place before the world was destroyed. And although there are parts of the world, these Nowhere Islands are a special place. They were the one place that would remain even if the world was lost. The one and only place where people could survive. And so the white ship arrived at these islands. Everything so far has been the white ship, yep, I get it. Have you committed everything so far to your memory, Mr. Stinkbug? He probably didn't, but he's just saying yes. The reason these islands are special is because they harbor a giant dragon nearby, as large as the islands themselves. Long, long ago, people lived together with the dragon. However, at some point in time, the people and the dragon could no longer coexist. So using the 7 needles, the dragon was placed into a long sleep by the ancestors of the gypsy people who have lived there since ancient times. Ever since, the gypsies have guarded the needles in an effort to prevent the dragon from being awoken until its power is truly needed. Thus, until the time of its awakening, the dragon continued to sleep as the power of the earth itself. And so, because of the tremendous energy of the dragon hidden deep below, these islands were protected from the end of the world. Those who came here aboard the white ship feared another end of the world more than anything else. They felt that the world's destruction was a direct result of the way they had lived. The people of the white ship discussed things at great length. They shared their wisdom and spoke with grave seriousness. And then they arrived at their conclusion. They decided to completely erase everyone's memory to the previous world and start their lives over with new rules and new roles. And so that's why money was introduced to us in chapter 4, and no one knew what money was back in chapters 1, 2, and 3 because they erased memories of the previous world. Yes, in short, everyone would play out the ideal story that they had come up with. That is what happened. The people would restart their lives in a simple, peaceful village, in the kind of place they wished they had grown up in. They would erase their memories of everything, the world, their belongings, their rules, and then they would begin their new lives. Everyone's old memories would be reset and replaced with their newly created story. And thus the village of Tazmily came to be. However, it was necessary to record the fact that a memory replacement had taken place. The hummingbird egg was a device used to store the memories of the white ship people. Wes and his son Duster, both playing the roles of thieves, were set to take action should a dangerous situation occur. Remember when they went to Osel Castle? They went there to retrieve the secret of the people of the white ship. And there's one other thing, me. It was essential that one person retain memory of the previous world, to sort of keep watch over things. I was the only one in the village of Tazmily who wasn't given a role in the new story. The sound of my bell served a suggestion, to keep everyone's fabricated memories from reverting. My name, Letter, comes from the word leader. No, that doesn't mean I was anyone special. It was just that I was particularly taller than all the others. So upon discussion, I was selected because it would be easier for me to stand out. Being so tall, people would want to come see me, you know? And so I was given the role of revealing these secrets when the time truly called for it. Everything so far has been whatever. Let me also talk about Osel Castle. Apparently long ago, a kingdom existed on this island, centered around the king of Osel. However, when we arrived on the white ship, the people of the kingdom were gone. It seemed they had left the islands, fearing the dragon's eventual awakening someday. Before boarding the white ship, Princess Kumatara was an infant who had lost her mother and father. So actually Kumatara must have lived here her entire life for some reason. And she was at Osel Castle, but she wasn't the one who fled. She was an infant and didn't know any better. So yeah, that kind of goes with that. Basically ruins my theory of how Kumatara's father is Pooh, because they're like related. They have like royal blood because they're both like royals, and they both learn PK Starstorm. They have pretty similar PSI attacks, but I guess there goes that theory because it was no one on the white ship, so couldn't have been anyone from the other world. Anyway, upon coming to these islands, she was given to the gypsies to raise, and given the role of Princess of Oslo Castle. West and Duster being her retainers was another part of the fabricated story. Oslo Castle is one of the few and precious relics of the island's past. We crafted our story in haste, so the people inside it have very little past or history. Have you noticed no one in Tazmily can talk about things from 100 or 1,000 years ago? In truth, we had wanted to create an entire plethora of myths and legends, but our story was made in such a hurry that we weren't able to. It's a real shame. I'm sure that much of what I'm saying you'd rather not hear, but it's the truth. Have you listened to everything so far? Yep. Have you committed everything so far to memory, Mr. Stinkbug? Truthfully, we had no idea how Tazmily Village would turn out, but things actually went rather well. The people who had arrived on the white ship had fully taken to their new identities. They believed that they had always lived together peacefully. It was when a person by the name of Porky stumbled upon these islands. So I guess Porky really is his own character, because if it was Pokey, he would have kept his name from the other world. So I'm guessing Porky, unless Porky just was like a dick about it like he usually is, and just changed his name, or Pokey I mean, changed his name. Alright, so Porky stumbled upon these islands that everything started to go amok. It seemed he used a time disorder machine to travel through time and space at will. However, he was apparently shut out from all other times and space, and tumbled into the era in these islands. Even worse, he used his time disorder to bring many people from other eras here. Okay. So he might have brought Ness. Like, you know how we saw those zombie men in chapter 2 and one of them looked like Ness? That could have been from Porky. It really makes me think. So he used the time disorder to bring many people back from other eras here. The pig masks, as well as everything in New Pork City, were all brought here and brainwashed by Porky. Okay, so some of the pig mask people could be from like Earthbound or Mother 1, and we just don't know about it because like we really can't see their faces. Anyway, this Porky fellow seems to view these islands as his own personal toy box, with which he can do anything he wants. He would take animal apart and recombine them to make creepy new Chinimras. And just like how we saw the Chinimra lab. As a childlike dictator, he began doing whatever he pleased, including building Thunder Tower and forming his own army. Porky eventually learned the white ship's secret because of a traitor among the gypsies. Do you understand about the intruder known as Porky? Yep. The traitor was Lorcrea, the 7th gypsy, and the only one you haven't met yet. But yet we have. And you just don't know it. After Lorcrea joined forces with Porky, Porky learned about the white ship people and the secret of the sleeping dragon. Porky decided to pull the needles to wake the dragon so he could use the power for himself. The dragon is the power of the very earth itself, you see. It's said that whoever pulls the sealing needle will become the dragon's master. However, only a very select few are capable of pulling the dragon's needles. Apparently, neither gypsies nor Porky have that capability. Yet the needles are being pulled now. That means Porky is somehow controlling someone who can control the dragon's power. We have to put a stop to Porky's antics. If we don't, the world will be completely destroyed again, and it will spell the true end for everything. For Porky, that might be the ultimate pleasure, but we can't allow it to happen. We, the last handful of people there are, absolutely can't allow this to happen. Lucas, it seems you're a chosen one, with the ability to pull needles sealing the dragon away. You must pull a dark dragon's needle with your own hands and pass your heart onto the dragon. Let this be my one and only order to you as your leader. Do you understand? Yes. I hear that 6 of the dragon's needles have already been pulled. Deep in the earth, the dragon is likely beginning to stir from its sleep now. Supposedly, the last needle is somewhere here in New Pork City. Porky has been gathering everything that lives on these islands into New Pork City to prepare for the final needle's pulling. It's possible that he's planning to hold one final twisted party. But now is our chance to change this looming crisis into a golden opportunity. All things may come to an end, or new and bountiful things may begin. Wouldn't you like to help happen, Lucas? You were once a weak, fragile boy, but now you've been given a tremendous role to fulfill. Now that you know everything, including everything I'm sure you'd rather not know, the time has come for you to save the future of all life as we know it. God won't make you bear more than you can carry. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. Know that you aren't fighting alone. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, will lend you their support. Well, not really everyone, because Porky's not lending us our support. That was a long story, but that is the end of everything I have to tell you. Did you understand it all? Yep. Only the gypsies really know the needles' location, so I don't know where to find them. But from the way Porky and the others have been acting, I would say they're now very close to reaching the 7th needle. Please, Lucas, be the one who pulls the final needle. Porky issues his orders from the 100th floor of the Empire Porky building. Start by jumping into the fray and storming the building. After that, you can start looking for clues. It's been such a long time since I've spoken to anyone, and now I'm exhausted. This stink bug should remember everything I've just said. Take him with you. That way, if you happen to forget anything I've said here, you can ask him to repeat it. Will you go with them, Mr. Stinkbug? Okay, so let's go pick him up. Got the Stinkbug's memory. But like, if this guy really does know everything, he should know that we already met Lord Kriya. But I'm guessing he doesn't know everything. Anyway, like Letter said, long story, so I think I'm going to end things here. So thank you all for watching. I know it was a long story, and hopefully you guys learned some new info about Mother 3's backstory. But anyway, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Mother 3 right here on Town Neck. Bye.